from Florida, Ms. Ros-Lehtinen, for 5 minutes.
Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker. And I rise today to discuss the ongoing crisis in Venezuela due to the incompetence of its leader, Nicolás Maduro. No matter what Maduro says, the crisis is his fault, not the fault of the U.S., not the fault of the Organization of American States. Maduro and his corrupt cronies are the ones to blame for this disaster, no one else. And while the Obama administration has sometimes tried to concede to the Maduro regime, it has only been reciprocated with no real positive change or any way forward by Maduro. Even now, the U.S. Embassy in Caracas has had to suspend appointments for Venezuelans seeking first-time tourist and business visas due to staff shortages that it blames on Nicolás Maduro. And this is just the tip of the iceberg, Mr. Speaker. For a country that is rich in oil reserves, it is a sign of incompetence and corruption that Venezuela is struggling with empty grocery stores, shortages of medicine, high inflation, and a plummeting economy. Now Maduro is trying desperately to receive assistance from other countries to save his corrupt regime. India has offered medicine in exchange for Venezuelan oil. China may offer loans to Venezuela in exchange for oil. But these attempts are possibly too late, and Venezuela may not be able to survive this incredible economic downward spiral. To put it simply, Mr. Speaker, Venezuela is on the verge of total collapse, and what an impact that will have throughout our hemisphere. It is not a matter of if, it is a matter of when. On top of that, Venezuela is also facing medical shortages that have become a humanitarian crisis. Recently, a group of Venezuelan legislative members were in D.C. meeting with us to ask for humanitarian assistance for their people and medical supplies to take care of the sick in Venezuela. Now, these members are the opposition of Nicolás Maduro, but they know that Maduro doesn't care about helping the people, so they are rising up to the chore. The Venezuelan Medical Federation has asked the Maduro regime to accept humanitarian aid to handle the massive shortages of medicine in the country, a request that has not been agreed upon by Maduro. The Venezuelan Neurology Society reported that the shortages of medicines for neurological conditions has reached around 90%. The Venezuelan National Assembly has declared a humanitarian health crisis that includes the lack of 872 essential medications. In April, the Venezuelan newspaper El Nacional reported that the Venezuelan Pharmaceutical Federation declared that the shortages of medicine in pharmacies has reached 85%. The lack of medicine, Mr. Speaker, impacts people from all walks of life, from the elderly to the sick to the mentally ill to the children who cannot receive life-saving care. Individuals with serious illnesses have to go from pharmacy to pharmacy looking for the medicines, and if they don't find it, they either have to leave the country or try to smuggle the medicines in through the underground black market. The situation in Venezuela can also quickly become more violent and even more dangerous if the crisis is not resolved quickly. Maduro has issued emergency decrees, even though the National Assembly rejected it, that will help him consolidate even more of his power. Maduro doesn't care about the food and medicine for the people. All he cares about is having more power. Last week, Venezuela launched its biggest military exercise. Who is invading Venezuela? Why did he do it? To scare the population, to show the Venezuelan people of his military might, to prevent any protest by the people. At the same time, the Venezuelan National Assembly has called for its own country to be suspended from the Organization of American States. The crisis in Venezuela must wake up others in the region. The new leaders of Argentina and Brazil are needed to bring the Southern Cone together in the name of regional stability. And where's the leadership in the United States? President Obama has yet to add more names of human rights violators in Venezuela. Adding names would prevent them from coming to the United States. This is a list that's based on a law that I passed along with my Senate colleague, Senator Marco Rubio. That that law is going to expire, we need to extend it a few more years, because those rights are being violated every day. So I talked about the economic hardships, but let's talk about the political and human rights violations that are going on every day in Maduro's Venezuela. They're committed by the Maduro regime. The unconscionable continued imprisonment of Leopoldo Lopez and scores of pro-democracy activists. The dire situation in Venezuela, Mr. Speaker, is out of control. Let's see what we can do, because the Venezuelan people deserve better than a corrupt Maduro. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
The chair recognizes the gentlewoman from California.